Hello, hello. Somebody recently asked me, how do I come up with ideas for experiments? And I decided to try and answer this in a more general way. By the way, I'm talking to you from a small hotel in Porto, in Portugal. When I was first invited to the conference I'm in, I thought, I'll come a couple of days early, I'll walk around. Turns out it's too hot. And I ending up enjoying this little room and working from it. Okay, but today is not about my inability to plan and the weather. It's really about how do I think about ideas for experiments. So I think about ideas for experiments a little bit like art. If you think about somebody who's drawing a painting, they're usually not representing the whole thing. They're representing the essence of it. And what they have to convince us, the viewer, that they have captured the essence. And I think about experiments in the same way. And there are field experiments, but regular experiments are like that. So maybe I do an experiment on how much people are willing to pay for annoying sounds and how that changes over time. Or how much people are willing to pay. Do people choose a chocolate that costs $3 or $1? Or what about building bionicles? When I do these experiments, it's not about the specifics. Like I would hate to say, I have a conclusion about chocolate for $1, or I have a conclusion about building bionicles. No, we're trying to create an idea and represent that idea in a way that the audience, hopefully you who are reading it, will be convinced that we have captured the essence. So very much like art, I look at a problem in the world. People seem not to get a lot of progress going on. People seem not to take their medication. People seem not to save enough. And I try to distill it to some principles, and I try to create an experiment to test those principles. But between me, who is designing the experiment, and you who are reading about the experiment, I need to convince you that what I represented, I leave some things out, right? An experiment, not field experiments, but regular experiments, abstract things, and only some of the information remains. Some of it is outside of the system. Even if I say, this is like a prisoner dilemma game. It's only a very small part of the whole system, but I have to convince you that this is the essence. So that's what I think is the real nugget, is to look at the world and ask yourself, what is the essence here? What is the essence? And once you convince yourself that you know what the essence is, then you say, let me prove that. Let me change the essence one way or another and see how the behavior changes. So for example, I can take an experiment. Let's take the bionicle example. And I can get people to build bionicles, and they stand, or they build bionicles and I take them apart. And I basically say, hey, there's a difference between those two. One of them, people don't feel their work is being destroyed in front of their eyes. The other one, they feel that it's more futile because they don't see any kind of sense of progress. And let's see how that changes. That's basically the story. Taking reality, abstracting, focusing on the essence, abstracting it, and then playing with the essence. And I think it's a very good skill. It's a very good skill because it's a skill of trying to convince ourselves what is the essence, what is the social science essence of that situation. Okay, so this is how we do experiments. Bye for now.